Welcome. This is a Unit 2 review to prepare you for the Unit 2 test on slope. First, we're going to talk about what slope is. Slope is the steepness of a line, and you will notice that some lines from left to right, and they go up, and these are called positive slopes, and some lines from left to right go down, and these are negative slopes. However, you have some that go straight across, and this is a zero slope, zero. And what about the line that goes up and down? This slope is called undefined. So those are a few of the things that we'll be talking about throughout this video. The formula for slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Some people will call it rise, which is the y's, over run. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out by finding the slope of number 1 and number 2. So I labeled my first set of coordinates. I have x, y, and I'll give the first ones 1, 1, and I'll give the next ones 2, 2. We're going to go ahead and put it in the formula. And we get 8 minus 4 over 5 minus 3. Which simplifies, to 4 over 2, which reduces to 2. So the slope is 2, and some would say 2 over 1, which you go up 2, you rise, and you go over 1. All right, let's take a look at number 2. You try number 2, and let's see what you get. All right, is this the setup you got? If you did, we have a negative right next to a negative, so that's going to be a positive. So that's a negative 8 plus 1 in the denominator. A negative right next to a negative, that's going to be a positive. So we get negative 7 plus 3. Let's simplify it and see what we get. Okay, we get negative 7 over negative 4, and a negative over a negative is a positive. So the final answer is 7 over 4. And that's the slope. All right, let's try the next problem. Given the slope and 1 point, write the equation of the line. So we know that y equals mx plus b is the slope formula, y-intercept form. So we're going to substitute in negative 5 over 4 for slope, and we're going to substitute in our x and our y for our x and our y. So then this becomes negative 5, and then this is negative 5 over 4. My x is 0, so I'm going to plug in a 0, and then I have to find b. Well, negative 5 over 4 times 0 is 0, so negative 5 is equal to b. So now that I have that, I can write my equation. It is y is equal to, go ahead and put the slope, negative 5 over 4x, and then we're going to put in our b, which is negative 5. So what did we just do? We wrote the equation of a line when we were given the slope and 1 point. So if you would copy this down, slope is negative 1. The point is negative 3, comma, negative 1. And what I would like for you to do is write the equation of the line, send me a message through Moodle so that you can get credit for the collaborate session and doing the work. Okay. The directions here are similar to the last problem. It says, given the slope and the 1 point, find 2 other points on the line. So the first thing we're going to do is let's figure out what the line is. We're going to write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. We're going to do our substitution. The slope is negative 3. Y is 0. Slope is negative 3. X is 2, and we're going to figure out what b is. So this is 0 is equal to negative 6 plus b. We add 6 to both sides, and we find out that b is equal to 6. So therefore, the equation of the line is y is equal to negative 3, x plus 6. So what do they want us to do? They want us to find 2 other points on the line. So here we go. 2 other points. Well, we already know that 2 and 0 is a point because that's what we were given in the beginning. Now let's find another point. How do we find another point? we're going to put in a value for x. Let's let x equal 0. And so if we let x equal 0 and we plug it in, take a look at this. X is 0, plug it in, and then we get y is 6. There we go. If we plug in, let's say x is 1, and then we have negative 3 times 1, which is negative 3 plus 6, and then that's 3. So that's 2 points on the line. All right, this is another set of directions. It says write the equation in slope-intercept form. So is it in slope-intercept form now? No, because slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So what we need to do is get y by itself, and we're going to take the problem 5x plus 2y equals 10. In order to get y by itself, we're going to go ahead and subtract 5x from each side. When we subtract 5x from each side, we get 2y is equal to negative 5x plus 10. Looks a little sloppy. And then we're going to divide everything through by 2, and y is equal to 5x over 2, and then 10 over 2 would just give us 5. So that's the equation in slope-intercept form, and they want us to identify the slope and the y-intercept. So I'm going to come up here and put slope, which is m, is equal to 5 over 2. Oh, excuse me, negative 5 over 2. And the y-intercept, which is the b, is equal to 5. All right, the next one says a line with 0 slope that intersects the y-axis at 0, 6. We talked about 0 slope being a line going straight across. And if it must intersect at 0, 6, then guess what? The line is y is equal to 6. There we have it. Okay, as we conclude, let's talk about scatter plots. Scatter plots is when we plot a relationship between two variables. And so if we were to take this graph right here and we had this scatter plot and it's going up from left to right, and we could say that if we trace the trend, this has a positive correlation. Let's take another one here, and we have some plots, some dots. The lines shouldn't be there, but the dots. If we were to trace through the center of the dots, we have a linear, a negative linear trend here. And sometimes there is no relationship at all when we see dots and they're just all over the place, no relation. Okay, so that concludes the video to help you with the Unit 2 test. Thank you for listening.